Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the True Life Podcast. I know what you're thinking. Like, George, is a video, man. It's not the True Life Podcast. Well, I'm going to be ripping the sound out of here, so it will be a podcast shortly. But right now, we got the video version. Hope everyone's doing well. I have wrote down some awesome quotes that I kind of wanted to share with people. I wanted to... it just seems pretty stressful lately, right? I'm sure gas prices are kind of killing people. And we've moved straight from COVID into this whole Ukraine situation. And anyways, I just wanted to lay out some quotes that I think are kind of helpful to think about, to let everybody know we've been here before. And, these are some pretty good quotes. Let me know what you guys think about them, okay? I'm just going to read them off and then maybe think about them. And if you guys got any comments, let me know. Anxiety is being trapped in the future. Depression is being trapped in the past. It's a pretty good one to think about, right? The high cost of low wages. What does that make you think of? If I was given the task of cutting down a tree in 6 hours, I would spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Dysfunctional strategies can create irreversible damage. This is a good one right here. Limited resource theory creates war. Pretty interesting to think about, right? Thinking about thinking. A scalpel versus a pipe wrench. Which tool do you think you need? The reason listening is important is because it gives you the ability to point out inconsistency. You need people to push back on your arguments so that you can make better decisions. The best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. When the debate is won, slander becomes the tool of the loser. We are in a race between fear and love. It is more difficult to rule yourself than it is a city. The standard pace is for chumps. Why have we chained ourselves to this dead elephant? The good news is there's more medicine. The bad news is the medicine doesn't work. That's pretty funny. Marketing hope by selling lies. Addiction by design. You can hide the truth, but the lies always get out. It's hard to hear what you're saying over what you're doing. Money has a discount rate. The older you get, the less it means. History is a set of lies agreed upon. You don't have to trust me. I trust you. Live a life full of joy and happiness. Remember Kant's first critique. It is impossible to know anything a priori about the world as it is independently of our cognitive apparatus. Though we can make certain synthetic a priori claims, these claims are not about reality per se, but only about reality as it is experienced by us. It is only because we possess certain cognitive principles enabling us to experience the world as it appears. When Napoleon was told a soldier was brilliant and brave, his response was, yes, but is he lucky? Populism or populist is a term people use for something they don't like, a pejorative. Out of fear sprouts the roots of courage. The best way to lose any war is to let the enemy dictate the terms of engagement. Well, the reason I was reading some of these quotes today is that it seems we find ourselves in a bit of a quagmire. And I know so many people get their information from watching the television. And when you do that, you really only, well, more than the television, if you just get your news from like one source, you really deny yourself the reality that everybody is seeing. I think everybody's concerned about the situation we're in with inflation and COVID and the war. But I wanted to give you my take. Not that my take matters one bit, but I just wanted to tell everybody what I was thinking about. It's all bullshit, right? It's all bullshit. Like, the American people have absolutely zero problem with the Russian people, the Ukrainian people, the Russian government, the Ukrainian government. Like, who fucking cares? Who cares? I sat out in the parking lot with a friend of mine whose daughter tried to commit suicide. So many people in my neighborhood are barely scratching by. There's real problems in real communities around our country. And yet all of our attention is on some fucking country half the world away. Who fucking cares? Who cares, man? If Biden or Trump or they try to send us to war, no one's going. No one's going. They can fuck right off. This is ridiculous. There's no reason why we shouldn't be buying Russian oil. They're selling us to us for cheap. Like, that's how our country runs, on oil. I love the environment just as much as everybody else, but it is incredibly foolish for all of us to have to suffer so that a handful of the 1% billionaires, World Economic Forum, our corrupt leaders can continue to live the lifestyle that they want to. It's ridiculous. The level of propaganda that's headed our way is also it's not even good propaganda. I was watching, if you get a chance, I saw a clip of Kamala Harris talking about Ukraine. That girl is so dumb. I'm so embarrassed that that person is even considered to be a leader. She barely even knows the geography of the country. Look it up. Listen to her speak. It's so ridiculous. And that person's in charge? Like, no wonder. I don't even think she's probably in charge, right? Like, there's got to be a team of intelligent business people that are in charge of her, telling her exactly what to say. But the fact that she has the appearance of making decisions, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, I don't know where we're going or what's going to happen, but I do know that we're being lied to on a level that is beyond what you can imagine. There's a pretty interesting guy named Tom Luongo. If you get the chance to check him out, he's got a podcast called Gold, Goats, and Guns, and he seems to have his finger on the pulse of. I mean, I think it sounds pretty interesting. You let me know what you think. What he's saying is that we as Americans, our foreign policy, you know, the CIA, all these different corporations and the World Economic Forum, all the politicians, they have had their hands in the Ukraine building these weapons labs. They've been taking kickbacks. And if you know that just by looking at the election and seeing the corruption with Joe Biden and his son Hunter, how much money they got from the Ukraine, right? But it's not just him. It's all of our politicians have been taking kickbacks from this area. They all got their hands in the pie. They're all dirty. And that's why there's so much attention on the Ukraine, is because if indeed, you know, if if it comes out that they have been stealing resources from there, if it comes out that they have given money to build weapons labs in the Ukraine, they're all going down. Like, that's all treasonous. And I think that that's why there's so much emphasis on not allowing, the Russians to move in there. It's not our war. We have nothing to do with it. And the American people should be standing up or at least ignoring what's going on over there. Like, it doesn't matter to us. It's not our war. We just got out of Afghanistan. We do not need to go back to another war. And if you look what's happening, they're bringing in all kinds of, like, just soldiers from different countries to fight that war. They're bringing in all the mercenaries to fight. It's exactly what happened in Afghanistan. They're going to bring in private armies, private militias, so that they can set up their own Taliban over there. And it makes me sad to think that our country, our leaders, all of our politicians are on board for this. If you see anybody on, I don't care if it's whatever channel you're looking at, any politician, any leader that's for that war over there is a traitor to our country. Any person that wants us to go over there is a traitor to our country. We have no business over there. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry for all the people and all the heartache, and I don't want to see any pain. War sucks everywhere, but it's not our fight. It's not our fight. And I feel like we're being blackmailed into it by keeping the resources from us. There's no reason why we can't have $2 gas over here. We're one of the richest countries in the world, and we have alienated on purpose any country that will send us oil. Like, why is that? Like, why would the people in positions of authority want to send our ability or make it so difficult for the American people to live? Here's an idea. If you look at our political strategy, if you look at the way the United States runs its foreign policy, what do we do before we invade a country? We always put sanctions on them, right? And what are sanctions? Sanctions are restrictions. In Afghanistan, what do? We derail their money. We make their money worthless. And then we fuel the animosity between warring factions inside that country. We make it very difficult for the people to live there, so they get upset with their government. That's kind of what sanctions are. And that's the way in which the majority of all wars begin. Well, you could argue that's what's happening to us right now. Right? Every single potential flame is being set. It's being black versus white, man versus woman, gay versus straight. Like, we're being fed this propaganda to force fear, to force the anger on each other instead of having it being aimed where it should be. And that is on Wall Street, the governments, and all the CEOs and all the board of directors. These are the people that have decided that the working people are garbage. I don't understand why they can't have a little bit of respect for the people that work for a living. I think if there's going to be a division in this country, it should be not based on race, not based on wealth. It should be based on your hands. You should never trust a person with soft hands. That should be the litmus test. We should be walking around and, hey, show me your hands. Let me see your hands. And if a person has soft hands, you can't trust them because they've never worked for a living. They don't care about their neighbor. They don't care about other people. So thank you for letting me rant a little bit. It's been kind of crazy over here, and I just needed to get that out. I hope everybody's doing awesome. I hope that the world in which we live is going to get better. I believe it is. I have faith in mankind and our neighbors, and I think if we focus on how much respect and how much people actually care for each other, it seems to me that sometimes traumatic situations can bring out the best in people. And I know that everybody's feeling stressed. I know I am. I know other people are as well. But I think at the end of the day, if you can kind of get it out, talk to the YouTube, or talk to the computer, or whatever it is you need to do, then you can go home and tell your family how much you love them and start being thankful. But it's important to get your opinion out and say what you have to say. So that's what I got for today. I love you guys. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.